Okay, this is Bernadette Subiru. This is the garden where originally the milling river flowed down all the way down here to the main river Pole. Today it is a garden and the water is channeled underneath. So all right, let me tell you the story about what I found out as the revolutionary parts of it. As you see, it's in the Pyrenees Mountains. Before, none of the houses was there. It was all woods. And Bernadette had to walk all across here, up there, and cross the second bridge because that was there 150 years ago. Now there's a second bridge on this side for the tourists to come in. So what I found is, as I said, the most shocking thing for you guys who watch my video is Bernadette is reincarnated, which raises a lot of questions for me. I'm Dr. Knightley. I do this kind of research, spiritual research, and find the ultimate truth about things. And it happened that some years ago I met this lady way far away from this place here in France, 10,000 kilometers away. And it turned out her name is also Bernadette. Her mother was told by angels to call her Bernadette when she was born. She's small, she's 140, just like Bernadette Subiru. And she has the same spirit. Now that's not enough. I question a lot of things, such as if Lady Mary told her, you are going to have a heavenly life with no pains and beautiful on the other side when you're dead, then it was only for a certain time, maybe 50 years on the earth, on earth times, as per earth times, 50 years on the other side of blissful life there and recovery. Yet she was tricked. That's what I also found out. She was tricked because the other side life guides appear who never show their face, but they are lightful. They are shining like a light bulb, but no face is shown, or else you would see that they are alien beings, not angels. They serve a certain agenda of the reptilians here on Earth to keep what's going on as a soul recycling agenda. Soul recycling means that you come back forever and ever. You have 1,000 lifetimes. You come back unless you know, you are aware, you're awake, and you know how to take the right light pillars out of this 3D world. So Bernadette Subiru on the other side, when she died, was tricked to reincarnate in a godforsaken place in the middle of bloody nowhere, where you would not expect her to be reincarnating at all. She was stripped of most of her memory through the channel of forgetfulness, and then reincarnated into a new baby and a mother, a spiritual mother actually, a kind of a witchy mother, somewhere far away from here. Now that was not enough. I went with Bernadette, that's my present wife, to Lourdes, and she said, okay, I know Lourdes. She has never been here in this life, ever, but she knows Lourdes. So we went to her birth house, and she said, this is my bed. Let me sleep in there forever. This I made fire in this fireplace. In the wall I made fire for my mother. I collected firewood in the forests nearby, and that's where I went down to that river where the cave was, the Grotte Massabielle. That's where I eventually saw a lady appearing in the rocks, in the grotto. And she told me all that's in the history books right now, to build a church on top, and so on. She never said she is Lady Mary. She only said that she is the Immaculate Conception. And that's how the priests found out that it must be Virgin Mary or Lady Mary. From the sixth dimension she came down here. How? There's a vortex, an energy vortex down there, where they can easier cross over to the 3D world and appear. At least that's the physical explanation to the whole appearance thing, to the whole apparition thing. Okay. Bernadette Soubirous back then is the same soul and spirit as now, as my wife now, Bernadette Itepu. Anyway, she had powers back then. She had great powers as she was the daughter of a poor miller man here, the Moulin de Boulay miller here in Lourdes, and that's how she knows the whole place. And she said she doesn't know anything in France except Lourdes and Nevers. We went to Nevers. I didn't know the place, how to find this monastery where she is buried, or her coffin is still resting there. She showed me the way through the city, how to get there with a car. So how does she know this? And she showed me a lot more here in Lourdes, about locations, about places, about the grotto, that she had great powers back then. She could cross over to other dimensions and come back physically and visibly. And but she was very honest, straightforward, no lies, no sin, a quasi-saint, as we see it today. So she even went to jail for 3-4 days here in Lourdes by the police when they thought she is lying about this Virgin Mary apparitions. This life, she also went to jail for 3-4 days. Seems to be a repetition. But all she showed me here in Lourdes, and she said, I love Lourdes. I said, I don't love it, too many tourists. Maybe back then it was beautiful when everything was quiet and natural. Now there are 100,000 hotels, all thriving on the tourists that come here for whatever purpose. Then she said, why are they praying to me when they pray to Bernadette Soubirous statues here and also in Nevers, when I'm alive right here? In the meantime, she totally understood that she has been reincarnated, but she doesn't know why. And she doesn't know why, again, in a poor family, in the middle of nowhere, very countryside style of life. So this is my story I have to tell to the people. I have another 2 minutes to go to post this YouTube video. As I said, this is the garden where they were, just behind the house of the original Moulin de Boulay, the millers, the natal house of Bernadette back then. She knew exactly where she hid her diaries and which edge, which corner of the floor, the second floor. Of course, in the meantime, they refurbished the whole thing, and they found the diaries and they confiscated them. They are probably in the Vatican Library, hidden away. They fabricated some other diaries that are totally in alignment with the Catholic Church's belief, because Bernadette Soubirous was a very open spirit and she had capabilities and powers. She could go to other worlds, to angel worlds, to dwarf worlds, where she meet with wise people to advise her on what to do and so on. So that whole thing, the priests didn't like it here. So they had to send her away. Then Mr. Monsignor Laurent, child molester, she was not the only child he wanted to rape. There were more, but they didn't come out because he was a powerful Catholic representative here in Lourdes. So the Mr. Laurent didn't hold up for this, and That's how it was. So, this Monsignor Laurent asked her to be forcefully sent away to Nevers to live a life locked away in a monastery when she actually was a free spirit. And that eventually killed her because they mocked her, they gave her a lot of pain, even though Bernadette Soubirous was also having her character. That means she also made a bit nasty jokes, which the other nuns didn't like, so they revenged back. Eventually it went onto her health, and that was not any cancer, it was a psychosomatic cough pneumonic disorder, and that's what she died of. When she coughed too much, her heart gave up eventually. That's why she died with 36 years in Nevers. And the good thing or bad thing, she had a lot of energy, a very high vibration. That's how she could see Lady Mary, and was the only one to see her at that high vibration. She also had that high vibration in Nevers. When she died, her body didn't decompose because of this high vibration. At least a very slight decomposition on the mouth and the fingers and so on. That's all. The rest was intact totally after 30 years in the graveyard. So they put her out and made her a poster saint for the Catholic Church. Lourdes itself became the poster place for the Catholic Church as a pilgrimage place. So the rest is history. Look at it today. It's all tourism trap, a tourist trap per se. So this is all I have to say to this thing. If you want to know more, read my book. It's coming out soon. Maybe blocked by the Catholic Church, but it's telling the ultimate truth about this whole thing of Bernadette Soubirous and Bernadette, my wife today. Same spirit. She was stripped, of course, of some memory. She cannot remember everything, every detail, but a lot of very essentials she can remember. And she said, if I had my full powers, this life, you could not sleep next to me because it's too high energy. And I realized that she still has in this life some capabilities, such as she can see people through. If they lie, she can detect it immediately. She has some visions, sometimes premonitions and prophecies into the future, which she can tell. But of course, like Bernadette Soubirous, back then she lost some of it, because this life, she didn't really live a very saintly life all the way. But she experienced the same things. People put her in a sack because she is small, beat her up, put her on the sack on a tree and beat it up with a baseball beat. I mean, why does she have to go through this? A lot of questions remaining. Why she incarnated here in such a miserable place, and when she was a saint, actually, she deserves a way, way better life this time. But no, I guess she was tricked into it by those other side spirits who guide you into wherever to get to your recycling of the soul again. The whole thing is a game going on for millions of years by the reptilian overlords. They want you to incarnate here again and again. Also, if you are doing sin and creating karma, you have to come back to clear it. In most cases, you have to come back to clear it. If you're totally saintly, you have a very high chance to get out of it, if you know how to. If you don't know how to, like Bernadette Soubirous, you're tricked into a reincarnation again and back in 3D here. So, raising a lot of questions, but also telling you the truth that the Catholic Church made this Bernadette Soubirous a poster saint just to to thrive on the tourism industry here in Lourdes and on pilgrimage and pilgrims alike, to get millions and billions of dollars into the Vatican Bank. And they didn't let her be. Bernadette Soubirous suffered a hard life here. And my present wife, Bernadette, who is the same soul as Bernadette Soubirous, is also, when she came here in Lourdes, she only cried. So it's a lot of pain, especially saying goodbye to her papa in the Moulin de Broglie when she was taken away to Nevers for good. And I also have not figured out yet where the Papa reincarnated today, because that would be a very joyful getting together again, but I haven't figured out. I will figure out eventually. So a lot of pain, a lot of, even in Nevers, the same thing, cry, 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 because it was pain, pain, pain. She said that that body in the coffin is her body from before, but she doesn't even want to connect with it because it's pure pain. There she really was psychosomatically killed by the nuns there, and they were so happy that she finally said goodbye at 36 years of age. And the rest is history. There they also come, the pilgrims pray to her as a saint and hope that she will help, while she's already back here, living another life, getting her challenges, yet she is strong and straight as before, totally incorruptible. All right. Guys, that's all I have to say. My first video on this Bernadette Soubirous, the ultimate truth case. And I hope you enjoy it. If you have further questions, you can email me at drknightley@gmail.com. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. And I will post another video clip on this in further detail. Thanks. Bye.